Hi friends, welcome to Nicole Scott's Own Your Sparkle YouTube channel. I am so excited to have a guest speaker with me today. Alain Menard, French speaking from Canada, and he is the president and owner of the Green Beaver company. And he is actually featured in my upcoming book, Get Naked with Your Natural Hair Color. And I stumbled upon his story when I was researching what companies I wanted to interview that were making a difference in the world when it came to reducing endocrine disruptors in our beauty products. And when I read Alain's story, I was like, oh my gosh, I got goosebumps. I was like, I need to talk to this man. I need to interview. You were so generous. You sent us this beautiful package of so many of your products. My kids now, of course, I have two teenage girls. They're raving about your products. They're like, my one daughter's like, my skin has never felt better, Mom. Like they just loved it. And so today, Alain is going to just dive in a little bit with us here. And so first off, I just want to say welcome and thank you for joining us. And as I say, what else are we going to do, right? But I know
thank you, Nicole.
Yeah, I know you're still busy running your company, and we're just talking about that before this interview. So why don't you just dive in a little bit, because I know that we have very similar stories, I had my health scare 2 years ago. I thought I might have had breast cancer with the lumps. I started to tighten up my beauty regime. I was about maybe at 75%, but I know I needed to improve it. So you kind of know my story, and my audience knows my story, but here you were as, a scientist and in the whole field of making chemicals to all of a sudden running one of the top, green companies where you're offering people solutions to live a healthy lifestyle. Can you dive in and just share that beautiful story?
Yeah, it all started, it's approximately 20 years ago now. And it all started the day after I had a talk with my wife, Karen, about, starting a family. So that was it. That was the day we decided to start a family. And it was the day after that I noticed that gradually, but things started to change around the house. So for example, when there was no more that Mr. Cleaner for the floor, well, he never came back when it was the bottle was done. So some kind of yin yang natural cleaner, floor cleaner would come back in. And then there was laundry detergent, again, just the conventional stuff was over. The box was empty. Some kind of natural whatever came in and replaced it. And it went on and right to our personal care products, right? And even food. So basically what was happening is basically the parent instinct kicking in. Maybe Karen is a biochemist, I'm a microbiologist, and with our knowledge and the research that we had done, I guess we were just preparing the nest. We figured it was just automatic to us that, do you really want to have a baby crawling on the floor? They're always putting everything in their mouth, right? So you think they want to, and then they have a wet hand touching their floor and putting that in their mouth. I mean, like it or not, whatever you've used to wash that floor, the baby's going to eat some. That's just the way it is. And we thought, no, that's not right. So I guess it was that parent instinct that kicked in, and we started going natural, even eating it organically, which was kind of odd at that time. And I'll never forget the apple story. So I come home from doing the groceries. I get some stuff out. I'm putting the apple away. And then Karen turns to me and says, "Oh," she says, "you didn't get the right apples." I said, "Oh, what? You wanted the green apples?" No. She said, "Organic." And don't forget, we're talking about 20 years ago, right? So for me, even at that time, organic meant natural, I guess. And for me, apples were natural, so I didn't really get it. Maybe the availability wasn't there at that time too. But she said, and I thought, oh my God, this is really strange, because you work in pesticides. That's what you do for a living as a biochemist. And now you're telling me that I should be buying natural, right? So she just felt personally that, maybe the pesticides aren't the greatest things for the health, and that maybe some of it is remain onto the fruits and vegetables, and that's been proven over the years, obviously. So, she was living a kind of a funny life, because in the evenings, we had beforehand just turned, half the kitchen into a lab. So, the little heating plate mixers and all that stuff, right? And as a hobby, started doing some personal care products. just creams out of whatever oil we had in the cabinet there, and lots of emulsifiers, and then it went on to toothpaste and deodorants and whatnot, and I thought all naturally, right? And I thought, okay, how can you be pesticide queen during the day and trying to be Mother Nature in the evening? That's not that's not kind of weird. Anyhow, it was too much for her after a while, obviously, and then so she quit and decided that, you know what, I'm going to continue this project that we've started, making these products, whatever. And I thought, personally, it's like, oh, is this the right time to stop working when we're just about to start a family? But anyhow, I continued working. She continued doing that. I would help her out, and as a microbiologist, I would help her out more just on the preservative systems and things like that. And then it was roughly around a year and a half that after that she had quit her job that I received a call from my sister. At that time, she was 32 years old, 3 boys under the age of 3. So the eldest nephew 3, the twin boys a year and a half. So anybody who's having a kid probably knows that 3 boys under 3 is quite a handful. And she was really upset, and that's when she announced to me that she had been diagnosed with a really aggressive breast cancer. And I thought, wait a minute, you're 32 years old, advanced breast cancer? And I thought, that just hit me like a freight train. I was like, whoa. And we did find out afterwards that, you know what, it was not hereditary. So it wasn't in the genes. And I guess once I really clued into basically what we were doing as a hobby in the evening, there was a link there, because we were always talking about, if it's not hereditary and it's something that clinched it, right? Sometimes it can be as a result of whatever you're exposed to. And you're exposed to chemicals and, xenoestrogens, any chemicals that mimic hormones, from what you breathe, you eat, what you put on yourselves. A lot of people don't realize it, but a lot of the ingredients, not all, but some of the ingredients, let's just say, that are in your creams and so forth that you put on yourself actually can get into your skin and get into your body. And unfortunately, we don't have all the same immune system, and people have to understand that, okay, so you're ingesting chemicals. What does it do? It gets into your body, and basically it gets into your blood system, and it just goes from one organ to the other. And some of them mimic hormones, meaning, and hormones, what do? They just press buttons here and there, and so you start doing that, you start producing less of this, you start producing this, you start multiplying, right? And so we know for a fact that these xenoestrogen chemicals can actually, cause all kinds of illnesses, thyroid problems, even up to cancer. That's proven. We know that. So it was at that time that I thought, you know what? Yeah, I really get what we're doing. What we're doing is not really, we're not just developing products. No, we want to just use these, because that's when I decided to quit my job. I've had it. I just really wanted to do this thing. And so we're going to use the products as a means to educate people that, you know what, there's chemicals in a lot of stuff that you're using day-to-day, stuff that you're buying.
Right.
And it was really to promote more of a healthy living, natural living, and that's how it started. The company was started as on a mission, basically. Not with a business plan, but really on a mission.
Amazing. So when was the Green Beaver company actually formed? What year?
It was back in 2002. So it's like 18 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. So would you say that you guys were in the forefront of this whole healthy living? Wasn't a lot of companies out there at that time that were offering, like, from head to toe, health?
Yeah, that's right. There wasn't many at all. And I've seen the whole industry grow, the demand, but there was a lot of awareness to do. I remember at the beginning, like, if I compare a millennial mom today to a mom with young kids 18 years ago.
Right.
And if I was 18 years ago try to, educate or convince a mother to use natural product instead of conventional products, so that, instead of putting artificial fragrances on her kid every day and all that stuff, compared to today, back then it was hard. You'd have a lot of education to do, and because they were hesitant.
Right.
Today, I feel it's the opposite. You know, I talked to a million of moms about the natural products, and
Yeah.
geez, they're trying to sell me on natural products.
Right.
You know,
Wow.
it's totally changed. It's unbelievable. It's
Such
great.
a
It's
shift,
rewarding.
eh? Oh, I
Yeah.
bet it is. So I know right now there's a lot of people in isolation, and they're like, how do I start to make change? How do I start to get these healthy products into my home without like leaving, to the grocery store or to the health food store? I know your products are quite well spread. When I go out to the grocery stores
Mhm.
in my neighborhood here in Ontario, I can just about your product is in every store that I see. But right now, can people order online to get your healthy product line?
Yeah, if you want to minimize your exposure, online is the way to go.
Yeah.
We do have a website. We offer our products through our website online. There's other online stores also, and other
Okay.
stores that offer it on their online store. So it's quite readily available. Um, but also, you know what I would recommend to people right now is it's okay, get the Green Beaver product, natural products, but also start looking at anything that can boost your immune system. Make sure that your diet is maybe one notch better than what it usually is or can
Mm-hmm.
be. You
Yeah.
know, start thinking about your immune system, build your immune system. You know, and one way is by eating right. That's the number one, right? Some exercise, maybe take some supplements, and stop putting chemicals in your bodies because that just weakens your immune system. That's not good.
It's so true. What is your website where people can go?
Yeah, just greenbeaver.com.
Greenbeaver.com. And
Yes.
where are you shipping, in North America or in other countries as well?
Right now in North America.
In North America. Okay.
Yes.
So there you go, my friends. I have definitely done a couple YouTube videos where I showed some of the products. Give me your top 3 products that you're most proud of that you've
Mhm.
launched and why.
Yes. I would say the biggest one was probably the aluminum-free antiperspirants for those
Mm,
people that, you know what, some occasions they don't want to sweat and they
yeah.
can't for a wedding, whatever, you know what I mean? So we were
Mhm.
the first one to introduce the very first aluminum-free antiperspirant. That for me was big accomplishment. I would say also, well, we introduced the very first anti-cavity toothpaste approved
Mm,
by Health Canada that contains no fluoride, that are safe for
wow.
kids to swallow. So that only uses a natural xylitol, which is a sugar alcohol from birch trees and proven to be anti-cavity. So that's a big accomplishment. And I think the third would be the sunscreens. You know, to come out with
Yeah.
sunscreens that actually safe, that you don't have to worry that chemicals getting into your body or going swimming and getting into the
Yeah.
lakes. So I'm very proud of that. But I have a recent one though. A
Oh,
recent
tell
one.
me. Okay.
Yeah. So as of tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow, we will be offering a natural hand sanitizer. So approved by Health Canada, so and tested, and so I'm proud of that our team was decided to come in because we are considered an essential company because of hand sanitizers and hand soaps, obviously
Okay.
very important.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of the Green Beaver team that they decided by themselves, yes, that they want to come in and do this
Hmm.
to help out people and help mitigate the virus from spreading. I
Yeah.
told them nobody needs to come to work, but they decided they really wanted to do this. I'm really proud of my team that they
Wow.
rose to the occasion and decided by themselves to do this.
That's amazing. Just a goosebump moment for me there,
Yeah,
sharing the story and
yeah,
how we
me too.
come together. We come together in crisis. Hey. Well,
Yes,
before I wrap up, I want to talk to you a little bit about hair dye. So,
yes,
obviously, my book is about getting rid of the toxins, cleaning up your beauty regime. And we talked about this a few months ago when we were doing a Zoom without it being recorded. And you had mentioned about why does this seem to be the last thing that women ditch, even though it's full of chemicals? So we can do everything right. We can move our body, we can eat clean food, and that was me. But why was I so attached to my darn hair? And I was so freaked out. So I know you've done your
yeah.
own research. Talk to me. Why do you think women, even though we know it's toxic for our head, our brain, our body,
Oh
what the
my God!
heck? Why are
we're,
we so
I
resistant?
think that's programmed in our DNA. I don't know what it is. It's all the thing with the appearance and this and that. It's like, oh my God. I know that, and antiperspirant. That's another one. Aluminum based antiperspirant is one of that and the hair dye is the last two things that most people will stop, will
Yeah.
switch to the natural, or
Yep.
stop using it So, yeah, it's a human behavior. We're funny species.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's not. Sometimes we do things that are. It's not for survival. To the opposite.
Yep.
But we will change, and even through what we're going through now, I think we'll awaken a lot of our behaviors. We'll maybe
Yeah.
change some of our behaviors
Yeah.
for the better.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I definitely know that the conversation has gone something like this. You have resisted gray, but right now you're embracing gray because you don't have a choice.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody told me that's what they're saying. We'll find out who's been dyeing their hair
That's right. Yeah,
in the
well,
weeks to come.
yeah, I even noticed, and I don't really watch the news that much, but every once in a while I'll tune in, and I'm starting to notice the men are starting to showcase their gray, which
Yeah,
you
yeah,
never
yeah,
say, even the guys, and then the
yeah,
women,
yeah.
you start to see their roots are coming up. So even on TV, I'm like, they
Oh
are
yeah, isn't that?
showcasing what's going to happen, which is good for
Yeah.
their health, right? Good for their
It's
health.
for health. You know what? Maybe this is be it. This is this and with people like you and your book and the
Yeah,
education that you're doing, people gonna say, you know what? Be who you are and
yeah,
live. Be
absolutely.
happy.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to our interview today. We just really want to get this message out. We're both aligned. Here he's committed the last 20 years to offering, the world healthy beauty products so that we can really reduce those xenoestrogens and reduce the chance of getting disease such as breast cancer and other diseases that are impacted by these chemicals. And the cool thing is we have choice now. Like you said, 20
Yes.
years ago, there wasn't a lot of choice.
Cool.
Today, there's a lot of choice. It's a conversation that is going on all the time. So if you're watching this and you've been hearing the buzz about natural products and cleaning, maybe this is your moment. Maybe this is your gentle nudge to start digging in and figuring out where you can, I call it the switch. What can you switch over and not bring back in your house anymore? And so go to the website, greenbeavercompany.com, and you can start to switch over some of your home products and beauty products and start on the path to a better lifestyle. Thank you so much, Alain. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, Nicole.
We are so excited to get this out to the world and get you guys on the right path. Have a great day, everyone.